Ooh. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Monday. I hope that you've had a lovely weekend and feel rested and ready to face the week. So with Monday, we ease in gently and have a nice creative start to our week. And I've got a lovely illustration for us today, inspired by an illustrator that I really love, or an artist that I really love, who I will link. My neighbours are starting their Monday doing some construction, but that's all good. Construction's got to happen. Things have got to be made, like what we're going to make today. My weekend, in case you want to know, was very nice. It was sunny here in Berlin. It was like 27 degrees, so I went for little walks, went and ate food, and just enjoyed basking in the sunlight, really. That was the general vibe. So yeah, that's all I have to tell you. Hi, Catherine. Hello. I hope that you had lovely weekends too. Let me know what you got up to if you'd like to in the comments. And let's begin. So I'm going to turn you around. So I'm going to get you... Excuse my my setup here. Hope that you can see it's not too dark. Maybe it's up it over a little bit. That's a bit better, isn't it? Very professional here today. But it's Monday, so it's always a bit of a rough start on a Monday. A little bit ropey. That's just how it is. Okay. So I'm going to just start with a landscape setup. So I've got my shorter length here. Wake up, Ness. And my longer bit here. And then we're just going to start by doing 3 circles in the center of our page. So they're going to be about this, actually kind of about that size, maybe a tiny bit smaller, but I'm not going to use that. That's just a guide for me. So I'll do 1 right in the center, or as central as you can get it. And obviously that's not the best circle in the world, but it will do. Mine's a little bit towards the top, and that's actually fine, a little bit closer to the top. Then I'm going to do another one that touches roughly the same size, and that's slightly down, and another one here. Now they can be a little bit bigger than my circles. I probably wouldn't go much smaller, but they could be a bit bigger. So in the middle of the page, just there. Okay, next I'm going to do some shapes coming off of these circles. So one shape that's going to come off this circle going up, and it could just be a triangle, or it could be any kind of shape that you like. But I would recommend doing a little kind of funnel bit. So 2 little lines coming off the central circle. I've just got coffee delivered. So 2 central lines going off, and we're going to have 2 lines coming off these circles too, but facing this way. So we could draw that now. Like that. Then I'm going to draw this shape. So it could be any shape, really. I'm just going to do a kind of wine glass shape, I suppose. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same with these. So coming off the page like that. And like that. So you've got 3 kind of vase shapes, I guess, coming into the middle with the central circles. Okay, then next, what I'm going to do is draw a line that comes down the center and hooks from the top. So from about here, Now this is coming in this direction, so my line's going to come down and hook like that in the direction of the kind of shape. This one's going to come down in this way and hook the opposite way like that. And this one's going to come down from the center and hook like that. Okay. Now underneath the hook, I'm going to draw just a very simple line underneath each of the hooks, just a little line. I'll show you a bit closer. And so these are, in fact, the start of your faces. These are very simple faces that you can now choose to create your own style. So, for example, you could add lips to this line, just a few jagged lines like that. You could leave it as a little line, or you could add different little expressions to the lips like that. Then you can add your eyes. So in the illustration that I'm basing this off, the three figures have all their eyes closed, which actually I think is quite nice. So to do that, I'm just going to do lines. So kind of really subtle U-shaped lines like that on each of my circles. Then obviously this one's upside down, so the U-shapes are also upside down, like that. So they're like three moon faces, all with their eyes shut. Now I actually quite like the lips, so I'm going to add lips onto this one too, but you do you, whatever suits your vibe. And now what we have to do is add a hairstyle to each of them. So this again is completely up to you. You can add, for example, flowing hair, maybe the parting's there, and the parting's there, and then have the hair coming out and being quite heavily inspired by the original illustration. I need to find it and link it. But the artist's name is Tiny Tinsley, spelt Tayneetinsley, and she's an amazing artist. She's from the UK, and she paints or illustrates kind of women and motherhood, and kind of like strong, like loving yourself kind of vibes, and they're just really beautiful, her illustrations. So I'm just going to do her hairstyle. Might be a different style, maybe have it straight hair, flowing straight and flowing out that way. And then her hair, I'm going to do a fringe, bangs, as you can call them. Big fan of the fringe, the bangs. But you could adapt this to be three people that you know, yourself included, or you could just do styles that kind of speak to you. Whatever kind of styles. You could also have lots of big hair coming. Maybe I'll make this hair a bit big as well. Coming out into this space a bit. You could add flowery bits or like extra bits to decorate. Let's face it, all of our hair's been long over the lockdown with the no hairdresser situation. So we'll go with those long hair vibes. Okay, so now you could leave it like this and just paint it if you like, or you can create some more kind of interest by doing patterns on the outfits, on the dresses. So I'm going to do that and just do some really basic kind of mark making shape petal leaf style patterns. But you could just do whatever comes to mind. Lots of polka dots or just little marks with your pen, just little kind of like fur marks. Gone for this kind of leafy diamante. That's what's in my mind as I'm drawing this. Shape pattern. But doesn't this illustration just scream togetherness, connection, understanding, sisterhood? Maybe you've done your family, your Bezzy mates. I'm not sure. I'm going to do just like a random kind of squiggle design on this one. So it's funny trying to do like a relaxed squiggle design, but not make it too busy or like too frantic, like a child. Trying to do like elegant squiggles. That's what that's the look I'm going for. Elegant squiggles. Like that. And then the last one, maybe I will do just little kind of oblongy shape that curves around with the shape of the body or shape, because this is kind of ambiguous. Is it? Are they bodies? Are they just decorative vases? Like so. And now I'm just going to help myself, because when I'm painting it, I know I'll get confused, and do a little bit of something in the hair so that I paint the background bits all the same colour. So I'm just going to kind of add a few kind of lines in the hair to help my little brain function on a Monday morning, because God knows I need that help. And of course you could go real detailed with this and add kind of light and dark bits and shadows to your hair, but I'm taking it easy today. The last thing I'm going to do before I start painting is to just add a bit more detail to the face. So you could add maybe some eyelashes on them, and also then their eyebrows. So let's get a little bit closer, up close and personal. Now I want them to look like they're peaceful, so I'm not going to put their brows like this. I'm going to do them more as kind of sedate as I can. More going out, or just I want them to be kind of like just standard brows, but I'll give them quite defined brows. We like a defined brow. they're not having nightmares. They're living in a serene calmness. Maybe they're meditating together. And I think when I paint them, I will add little red cheeks as well onto them. So I'm happy with that drawing for now. Let's do a little bit of painting, then you can always come back in and add more detail if you want to on the other side. So let's put my palette here. It's because I usually use the, I've been using the portrait setup so you can see my palette on the side, but no, alas, not today. Have one little sip of coffee and then I'm going to write in the chat the name, the Instagram handle of the artist because I haven't got her link yet. Tiny Pins Lee. She has a shop on Etsy. You should check her out. I think at the moment she's only doing digital downloads or delivery to the UK because it's been such a kerfuffle with the post recently, obviously due to our old friend COVID. But I would totally recommend checking her out. Okay, so I'm going to paint the whole kind of face. I've got little bits in my paint. No. I'll do 3 different skin tones, I think. Start with this one. I'll paint the hair a darker colour on top of this colour. Well, that didn't go very well because I've got a bit of dust in my paint. Dust is the enemy. Am I right? I'm right. Okay. I'll just quickly blow my palette. Sometimes that helps, sometimes not. Okay, I'm going to get a darker skin tone here with my dark brown and burnt sienna. Casually take the dust off your brush and drop in the colour. Just trying to get a nice even coverage here. We'll see how we go when it dries. Lifting off the excess colour and tapping it on my paper towel just there. It's a good way to even out your colour. Go for kind of more pinky face here. Always get the kind of serious bit done first, like the skin. That is kind of usually just one block colour for the whole section, and then I'll go back in a bit later and add the rosy cheeks, and then you can kind of play with the rest of the canvas. So I'm actually going to paint the background first because it's not going to touch any of these colours while they're just drying. So the background of the original illustration is gold, which is pretty nice, but I don't really have gold here, so I'm going to do a kind of yellowy vibe. I haven't actually planned out my colours before because I'm naughty and it's Monday. And Sunday night, you always just think, yeah, I'll leave it. I'll do it tomorrow. But also, I quite like living on the edge and putting myself in the position of having a bit of pressure on me when it comes to something I enjoy. And I quite like these kind of watermark blooms that are going on there. So I'm going to add a bit more water to this bit. I'll paint underneath this hair a bit too, just a light application of colour, and then I'll go over with a darker colour once that's dry. So this is just a cadmium yellow with a bit of raw sienna as well, but the raw sienna is pretty transparent, so doesn't really do too much, just takes the tone down a little bit of the bright cadmium, maybe to give the suggestion of a gold. Ooh. Yeah, I really wanted to own one of Tiny Tinsley, I can't say her name, one of her prints, but she doesn't ship internationally at the moment, and I don't have a printer, so I'm waiting until things are back and I can order one of her artworks on her Etsy shop, because she's also a mum of 3 kids, I think, and she's just owning it, just owning her life, really. Casual business owner, mum extraordinaire. That's kind of the dream for her, for some. Okay, so that's my nice bright background in. Now I'm going to do these bits of clothing. Now I want it to be stylish. So in the illustration, these are all kind of like monochrome, like blacks and greys and stuff. But I am going to go for blues, I think. Bluey greens. Is that stylish, guys? What's stylish? Got my sap green up here. It's just off the page bit, and my indigo. Don't worry, French ultramarine, I haven't forgotten about you. Used to use French ultramarine and sap green as my go-to mix, but since indigo's come on the scene, I can't help myself. It's just so tempting. Indigo is such a gorgeous color. Now, do I keep the clean line or do I let them run? Ooh. It's dry enough anyway. Don't have to make that decision. Now I want a bit of variation here, so I'll drop in a bit of actual indigo without the sap green being mixed. A bit more water. Get those flowy bits going. A bit like a kind of tie-dye situation here. Nice, and I'll just leave it at that, let it dry. Then maybe I'll just do my French ultramarine and sap green here. I kind of wouldn't mind leaving these bits white, but then it's always a bit of a struggle time-wise. Let's see if I can do it. Just a rough kind of web of colour feeding its way through the design. Try not to give her a dark chin. I'm amazed I haven't used this artist before, because I really do like her work, and I think it translates quite nicely to this kind of workshop with the shapes and the general style. What do you think? Tell me what you think if you have enjoyed this style and if you like doing more. I mean, I always enjoy doing the work with kind of figures in it, or like abstracty figures, but I try not to do it every time, because I want us to explore, different topics each time. But if you do like it, I can do more, maybe like 60-70% with figures, people in it, because that's my favorite too. But I like to keep you guessing, so that's why it's not always the same. And it's also good little test, let me tell you, trying to come up with new topics and styles for us to play with, which will hopefully tap open your creative mind and trigger some kind of creative response, or just make you feel chill and like you've enjoyed it. The two outcomes that we're looking for with these workshops. Okay, so I've done they've all got the same colour-ish tops. Now I'm going to do their hair. So I want to do bright, I kind of want a gingery, bright ginger. So get my red and my pinks and my ochres, and let's go. Absolute gorgeous colour. Can you imagine having this colour hair? It would be gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Maybe put a bit more pink towards the end. Not being too precious about it, as always. If this colour doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Gorgeous. Come on in as it dries and gets a bit lighter, and I'll just add a little bit more pizzazz to those bits. I also use this and do the lips. Because why not? And also her cheeks. Just do tap on the colour, tap it off the brush so that you've got a nice clean kind of damp brush, and then you can spread that colour out so it's not as vivid. Like that. Let me show you a close-up. This kind of technique of repositioning your paint, you learn as you practice with how much paint is on your brush, etc. So don't stress if it's not going as smoothly as you would like. Okay, now I'm going to get kind of purple hue for this hair. I might just do it in purple, like that. Look at that amazing color, and then drop in a little bit of brown. Lazy mixing on my page. As long as you work relatively quickly, it shouldn't dry, and you can get that mix on the page. A bit more water. It's just making me think of all of the old, I mean, I haven't watched like actual TV for years, just like obviously streaming and Netflix and stuff. But you know, all of the hair dye adverts you'd get, Weller or whatever, all the crazy. Ooh. What happened? Oh, that was. I've never heard that sneeze from you before. I thought you'd seen a spider or something.
Hold it back.
Oh. Now I'm awake. I'm glad it wasn't a spider. Yeah, it's reminding me of those adverts with the wild hair, like the Beach Babes. And then the last one, I know we're a little bit over, so I'll be really quick. I'm going to just do, I wanted to do like a sandy blonde. So I just got my yellow ochre. And actually it's quite an opaque colour, so that works nicely going over the original yellow of the background. Sandy blonde, gorgeous. Get in there. Even though obviously it doesn't matter, it just feels weird painting her upside down because like you know what a person looks like, right? And normally they're standing the right way up. So when you're coming to paint these angles upside down, it feels really odd. I don't know if you're finding that too. It's just from like, this is why I don't tell you what we're drawing before as we're drawing it, because then you have the preconceptions in your mind and then it stunts you a bit, I think. Okay. Then just a little bit of lip stuff for her. A little bit of lip stuff for her. Maybe a little bit of cheek. A little bit of cheek for her too. I think I'll leave them like that. So I was trying to get the two bits of cheek the same, the same cheekiness. And I'll leave it there for today. But there is my interpretation of Tiny Tinsley's artwork, and I will put it on my story on my NessDoes Instagram, I think, and tag her. Because last time I tagged on YouTube Live, it cut me off, so I'm scared of doing it now. But it's probably just a bad connection and nothing to do with the tagging. But I hope that you enjoyed today and you've got a nice illustration that you're proud of. Yeah, I would definitely check her out. I know I've talked about her and maybe I've gone a bit too heavy on the loving for her, but she's a great illustrator and I would recommend checking out her work. I hope that you have amazing Mondays and that you're set up and feeling calm and good and ready to take on the week. But if you're not, don't worry. I'm here again tomorrow morning for Tuesday's session to help you through. So have amazing Mondays. Take care of yourselves. Let me know if you like the subject and if you like the video. As always, send pictures of your work as well. Give me a cheeky little thumbs up if you did like it and tell your friends about this too so I can spread the arty love even more. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow morning. So here's my end screen. Bye.